evening, afternoon, whatever time it is. This is Trivvy, and I'm going to be giving you a look at the Titanfall beta. Now, originally, I live streamed this, and I basically recorded the gamer audio and my microphone together because I was commenting as I was playing. However, an annoying thing that I didn't realize Titanfall does is that it puts my microphone gain all the way up to 100. So anybody who went into the live stream was sort of getting their ears blasted out by my voice. And I apologize to those where that happened. So I've decided for YouTube I'm going to instead watch through the video and simply speak over it. So unfortunately this isn't going to be my my reactions whilst playing. So I'm going to basically take this time to speak a bit about the game that I like. Obviously it's made by Respawn Entertainment, which were some of the lead developers of Infinity Ward before they left. And as you can tell, there's a lot of things that are quite similar. You got your loadouts, you have your primary weapons here, your shotguns, your carbines, your automatic pistols, yada yada yada, and they all have their own sort of attachments to them. The attachments don't seem to be very in-depth at the moment. You can have like little buffs for them and maybe a different kind of sight on them. But for the time being, at least in the beta, we don't have much to go on. So you have three weapons. You have your primary weapon, your secondary weapon, and your anti-Titan weapon. Your primary weapon is, as you guess, you got your shotguns, and there's a thing called the smart pistol, as you saw there, which is quite interesting. I'll talk about that in a moment. And the sidearms, you just got automatic pistols and regular semi-auto pistols. And your anti-Titan weapons are basically just weapons made to combat Titans. So big ass rocket launcher, or you've got another weapon that fires a lot of little rockets at not as big a damage. But the smart pistol is basically what I would call an aimbot pistol, sort of. It locks onto an enemy, and then as soon as it's locked on and it shows red, as soon as you pull that trigger, it's going to kill that person. And it doesn't matter whether you're going to be aiming to the left of them or to the right of them. You don't need to be aiming directly at them. It's going to hit them. Now, as you saw there, at the beginning of every round, instead of just spawning in on the ground, it's actually quite cinematic. You have to go out of a dropship, which I think is really cool. That's one of the things I'm really liking about this game. It's the fact that how it's kind of blurring the lines between single player and multiplayer experiences. So the multiplayer kind of feels like you would in a single player game. So as you can see, there are grunts running around, and the grunts are just basically AI controlled enemies that they like die in one hit. They don't do much damage. You get some XP from killing them, and of course it counts towards the kill count. But you mainly get points out of killing enemy pilots and their Titans. And a cool thing about the AI grunts is as you run around, there's a possibility that you're going to come across like a little event happening. So you might have seen two AIs fighting each other in like close combat, or there might be one dragging his comrade away because he's injured, and you know, there's little stuff like that which really adds to the entire feel of the game. Now, there are no Titans in the field at the moment, and this is how it starts at every game, because the Titans have yet to be built. And if you take a look at the bottom right, there's a little timer ticking away, and that's basically how long... Yeah, see, 30 seconds. It's basically how long it's going to take for your Titan to become ready. And then, as you see, press V and it comes down. You can decrease the time your Titan is built by killing pilots and enemies. Now we're going to take a look at some Titan gameplay here. So, with Titans you have your main weapon, which at the moment I'm using, I think it's a 40mm cannon or something like that. And then as my ordnance, which you fire by pressing F, I'm using homing missiles. So I can lock onto a Titan, I press F like that, and then the missiles will lock onto him and fly towards him. There's also another type of ordnance which is basically called a rocket salvo, where it just basically fires a stream of rockets in whatever direction you're aiming. You also have defensive abilities, and you activate them by pressing Q, and there's two in the beta so far. And one of them is electrical smoke, So basically it's smoke that harms, it creates a big cloud of smoke that crackles with like electrical energy, and Titans and enemies and pilots and whatnot that are inside that smoke are going to receive damage over time. There's also a little, I forgot what it's called now, like a little energy shield. If you've played Bioshock Infinite, there's a power in that allows you to put up a shield around yourself, and it'll catch enemy bullets that you can then throw back at the enemy. That's basically how this shield works. And as you notice, there's a thing called damage core, which is kind of like a kill streak-ish kind of thing. Over time, your damage core, it's at the bottom right, you press V to activate it. It basically, you press it and it'll give your weapons more damage over a short period of time. There are various perks you can get for your Titans as well. For instance, there's a nuclear detonation one. So as you can, if you take a look at the health of the Titan at the top there, that blue bar, the top thin blue bar is a shield, and the bottom thicker blue bar is the actual health of the Titan. So they got to deplete your shield and then take down that big blue bar before you're going to die. Now, you don't die immediately. What your Titan will do is it'll go into doomed mode. So it's overheating, it's going to explode at any moment. And you can live for a short amount of time in that, but if you don't get out before it explodes, then you're gonna die, basically. So see, it says my Titan's been doomed, I need to eject, otherwise you see a little bar at the top, as soon as that depletes, I'm gonna blow up, and then you eject, and kaboom. And you can actually kill enemy Titans and players with that explosion, so that you gotta watch out for that, and basically run away from any Titans that are about to detonate. You might have seen that on the screen that somebody was rodeoing my Titan. Now what that is you can basically jump on top of Titans, you know, frigging Attack on Titan style, and open them up and start firing into the internals. And what the pilot has to do inside the Titan is either A, he can deploy the electrical smoke defense and basically sit in it until you die, or B, they have to get out of their Titan and shoot you off. Now, personally, I like using the electrical smoke because then I don't have to get out my Titan. I see, I rodeoed on top of that Titan, but he was already so damaged that I didn't really have a chance to shoot at him much. But how cinematic this game looks and how polished it looks is what's been really impressing me. The thing that is depressing me, though, is that it's on Origin and it's being published by EA. I tried to jump on the Titan here, but I completely fail, and then he shoots me to death. Yeah. If you look at the bottom right, you can see select a burn card. Okay, I'll explain what those are. Burn cards, you earn them at the end of every actually, no, screw burn cards for a second. I'm going to talk about this. Okay, when you win or lose a game, instead of the round just ending and the camera zooms out and everybody sort of stares blankly at each other, you instead have to play an epilogue. So if you win the game, you have to intercept and blow up the enemy's dropship. If you lose, you have to get to your dropship site, board the dropship, and then jump out of there into space. That's unfortunate. But if you manage to get into the dropship, you get 200 XP. If you manage to destroy the dropship, I think you get about 250 XP, something like that. Now, what I was trying to do there before I died is there are these AIs that run around called Spectres, which are basically robots. And you can actually run up behind them, hold E to hack them, and actually convert them onto your side, which I think's pretty cool. I'm going to use the word cool a lot in this video, as you might be able to already tell. So they managed to get away, and we didn't get any XP for blowing it up because we didn't manage to do it. And I'm in the middle bottom of the leaderboard there. I do have some pretty bad matches in this run through, I'll admit. I'm just going to see what I show off next. So obviously it's very COD-esque. You get your XP, you have levels, you have your perks, you have your loadouts, you have challenges. Excuse me. So when you complete challenges, you get some more XP. And maybe unlock some other things, I'm not entirely sure. And then the thing that kills me is the time between lobbies. Look at that. Over a minute we gotta wait. So I'm going to apparently show off the Titans now. So you've got different chassis. The only one in the beta I've seen, well actually no, the only one in the beta you can unlock so far is Atlas, and obviously each chassis is going to have its own perks. So yeah, primary weapons, you know, typical cannons and rockets and chain guns, which all have their own stats. And in a minute I'll show something else off. If I'll stop fizzling around. So yeah, you got your tactical ability, so that's your vortex shield and your electric smoke, so the shield that can suck up bullets and fire them back, and the electric smoke that just basically creates a cloud of death. Very useful for getting people rodeoing on your Titan off. But of course you can no longer use the vortex shield, which is very useful for soaking up potential damage from the enemy and firing it back at them. And of course you have your ordnance. As I said, I have the slaved warheads which lock on and fire. And I didn't actually manage to get through everything. So there are two maps in the beta. There's Fracture and then there's Angel City. Angel City was the one we just played, and Fracture's the one that's loading up now. I have to say I'm preferring Angel City at the moment because I prefer the sort of close quarters. Fracture's kind of more open-ended, so I can see why they did it. Fracture's more for the Titans, where Angel City's more for the pilots on the ground. So I think in this, I'm showing off the smart pistol here to show you how it works. Okay, so I talked about the smart pistol locks onto enemies. With the grunts and the AI, it only takes one lock on for it to lock on fully. So you know, lock on, fire, they're dead pretty much. With pilots, however, you have to lock on 3 times before one trigger pull will kill them. And hopefully I managed to show it off properly. So I can tell that a lot of people are maybe going to kind of complain about the smart pistol because it, you know, oh, it's inbuilt aimbot or whatever, but I think it's made well enough.
That's a double kill.
You see, I didn't lock onto those guys because they were too close. But you might be able to see the little orange thing popping up whenever I'm aiming at an enemy, like that guy. That is the smart pistol attempting to lock on. Now you see, it's not very quick when it locks on, so you can't just run into someone, pull the trigger, and they're instantly dead. No, you gotta hold it for a while, and it's really only viable to use a full lock on the pilot if you've kind of snuck up on them. Ah, you see, there's a great example. Pilot pops down. I gotta keep him in sight for a good 1-2 seconds maybe. I gotta keep him in sight, and he was distracted. You see, if they notice you're there and they're actively firing at you, you're not going to be able to do it, so you're going to have to just fire manually, like a regular pistol. So I think it's pretty cool. It's the weapon that I used most. Now that confused me. I thought that they were friendly because I was expecting my pistol to start locking onto them, but I didn't see it locking on, so I thought that they were friendly. And and the whole being kicked in the face thing is kind of an example of why I dislike the melee system. So it's basically when it's all melee is a one-hit kill. So somebody can run up to you, kick you directly in the face, and you will die instantly. Which I think is really, really dumb. I mean, if it's from behind, then I think, yeah, sure, whatever. Because if you sneak up behind someone, you get like a special kill animation where you basically snap their neck. So I think that's fine. If you sneak up behind someone, you can get an instant kill. But just running up and kicking people in the face is getting an instant kill on them is pretty dumb, in my opinion. Now there are 2 types of grenades that you can use. Grenades not very interesting, but you got your regular ass frag grenades, which, you know, do just standard damage, and then you have these things called arc grenades, ARC grenades, but I call them ARG grenades because I say ARG every time one of them frigging hits me. And the ARC grenades basically distort your vision like crazy. I think I get hit by one at some point. They distort the vision of Titans and pilots alike, and I think they do a little bit of damage. So it's in effect a kind of flashbang, sort of. And here I switch back to the shotgun because I prefer it. I may as well explain burn cards. Okay, burn cards are things that you're able to earn at the end of a round, and they're basically like mini buffs. So it could give you a new weapon, like an auto shotgun or something, and they only last for about until you die. So say I equip 3 burn cards, you can equip 3 burn cards per round. If you don't use them up, they stay there, but you can equip 3 burn cards with you into the battle, and then you can burn one of them to receive that buff. So say that there is a buff for increased speed, so I think it's called prosthetic legs or something like that, and it'll give you increased speed. You'll have that buff until you die or until the round ends. So if you put on that buff and you survive all the way until the round ends without dying, only then will it expire. Otherwise, it expires when you die. Pretty basic. That's what the electrical cloud looks like. Friendly pilots can also ride your Titan. I think they can. I think it stops enemy pilots from jumping onto your Titan. But it can also be used just to transport them around and maybe shoot at other Titans. So you see, enemy guy has jumped on me. I'm going to sit in the electrical cloud, and now he's dead because he was dumb and didn't jump off. That guy was using the... see, that he's doomed me. He used the vortex shield really well there. So I get really close to him so that hopefully I can take him out with my nuclear blast. And I do. I kill him. That's pretty freaking... I love doing that because they just don't expect it sometimes. They just run towards them and then explode, and they don't bother getting away. So if you see a Titan in flames, and then they do an animation where they lift their gun into the air and kind of strike a pose before they explode, make sure you get away from them. There is a point in one of these games where there's a doomed Titan about to explode, and I'm surrounded by friendly Titans. So I'm trying to dash away from this enemy Titan, and I can't get through because my teammates are blocking me, and I get taken out by this freaking Titan exploding, and it was quite rage-inducing. Okay, so we've lost the game, so now we have to get to the dropship. Unfortunately, there's only one time when I actually managed to get to the dropship, and unfortunately the enemy team destroy it. Even if the enemy team destroy it, you get XP for just entering the APC, which I think is pretty good. But the thing that I really like about the dropship, if you're in the dropship and it manages to get away, it doesn't just end there. You actually, for the last couple of seconds of the game, you're looking out the window of the dropship into space at the planet that you just jumped out of. That's really cool. I mean, yeah. It's just, I really like how they tie the games together in a really cinematic fashion, so you're really kind of immersed into it. And I did pretty well that game, but we lost anyway. I don't win many times in this run through. Level 14 is the max level in the beta. And oh yeah, there you go. Here are burn cards. So you can take 3 in with you per game. And you get loads of these. I think you're given at least one at the end of every round. So they can give you like buffed weapons, like an automatic shotty, an automatic DMR sniper rifle, all sorts of stuff. Which I haven't seen that done in any other game. Maybe somebody will probably correct me now, but I haven't seen something like burn cards introduced. So it's a little thing that's kind of cool, in my opinion. I rarely ever use them, though. I usually just use them to give myself the auto shotty, because I like the shotguns in this. But yeah, as you can see, just multiple different kind of buffs. So there are quite a few XP buffs. So you can see most wanted, scoring hits on parts earns extra XP. Reduces build time as well, but I think killing a pilot already takes off 30 seconds of build time, because I remember in the beginning of this video I had 30 seconds left. I shot a pilot, and then the build time was complete. So I think 30 seconds is enough already. And once you hit the level cap at 14, it's what do you need XP boosts for? Now I don't know what the the level cap's going to be in the final game, and I'm certainly not going to find out from experience because I'm not going to be buying Titanfall. I mean, I know it's weird, isn't it? I've been singing the praises of this game and how much I've been enjoying it, and then to say I'm not going to buy it. I'll tell you why I'm not going to buy it. It's a Source game, woo, great, made by Valve. Source engines are made by Valve, but no player servers. There's no player hosted servers. There's absolutely zero mod support, and they've completely closed off the game to the users, so we can't do anything with it, just like Call of Duty. And it's Origin exclusive. I could harp on about how much I hate EA's guts all friggin' day, but then that would just be a rant video, so I'm not gonna bother. But I really despise EA, and I will never forgive them for all the atrocities they've committed against the gaming community and killing off some of the best developers out there, i.e. DICE and many others. But anyway, this isn't a video by EA, so I'll shut up about that. Now, something that I haven't mentioned yet is the kind of parkour abilities that you see as you move around with your pilot. Those are all really fluid. So if you jump up near a wall, you can do wall jumping, wall running. You've got a double jump because pilots have this little jetpack thing that gives them a little burst. And it just basically makes the... I keep saying basically. I say basically so friggin' much in this. But it lets you jump around really fluidly, lets you move around the map. You rarely ever get caught on a piece of geometry, which is a really good design decision on their part. One thing that has kind of irritated me though, although it's just a skill thing, is how fast players move. I've been playing a lot of Battlefield recently, and everybody moves kind of at a realistic speed. But in this, it's more kind of Quake. Not as fast, I'll admit, but the rate at which people can move from side to side when they're firing at you is really ridiculously fast. So it's really difficult to track them with your mouse, and I guess it just takes getting used to. But if you're head to head against someone and you're both just jittering from side to side, like strafing and firing, it's really difficult. Now, one thing I mentioned is I would really like to see a kind of parody of the Attack on Titan opening done in Titanfall. Obviously, it's never going to happen because there's no mod support, therefore no camera, therefore no clip, therefore you can't turn the HUD off, yada yada yada. I don't see any machinimas really coming out of Titanfall unless somebody manages to hack the game, which is I can see it happening because it's Source Engine, and Source Engine is naturally moddable, so I think it doesn't really matter how much they're gonna close the game off. Somebody's gonna find a way to hack into it and make it more open to users. At least I hope so. But it wouldn't matter anyway because I'm not gonna get this game. I don't want to give EA any more money. I haven't bought premium for Battlefield 4 either. Now, with the Titans, there's one thing that I forgot to mention, one small thing I forgot to mention about the Titans is the movement with it. If you press space, and oh, actually no, this is a really good example of rodeoing a Titan, so you can screw up their internals there. You shoot right through their shield because you're shooting at their actual internal components. So you can shoot them in the back of the head until they blow up. But of course the pilot has to get out, or he can just use the cloud, the electrical cloud. But yeah, Titans, if you press space and then a directional button at the same time, you will basically perform like a dash. Which is really, you've probably already seen me use it quite a number of times for dodging enemy rockets and other projectiles. It's very useful. So what if you're just getting into Titanfall, although I don't know when the beta's ending actually. I've heard rumours that it was supposed to be on the 18th, but because of the connection and server issues, they might be elongating it to the 19th. Not sure, so don't quote me on that. But dashing is a very, very useful thing to use in Titanfall, and if you get the hang of it, then you're surely going to be dominating a lot more than the Titans that don't dash very well. Now I see he was rushing towards me to try and get me to be damaged by his nuclear blast. Here's another good example of using the cloud, and he's dead. So if you're rodeoing someone and they deploy that cloud, you really got to jump off, hide for a bit, wait for them to either move out of the cloud area or until the cloud dissipates, and then jump back on top of them. Now, I haven't actually managed to do that yet, because usually as soon as I jump off, even if I cloak, the Titan manages to kill them. And that's another thing I forgot to mention. Your pilot does have their own little kind of power, and I believe the one that I'm using is cloak. So if you press Q, it will cause you to turn invisible, like that guy did in midair. It causes you to turn invisible, almost completely invisible to Titans due to how high up off the ground they are, and sort of invisible to pilots. It all depends on how far away you are from the person that's cloaked, but it is quite useful. The one that I have attached with that my current pilot build is the stim boost, I think it's called, and it basically just gives you like increased speed and stamina for a short amount of time, and then before it has to recharge again. I'm not entirely sure what the story is with Titanfall. It's obviously, as I said, for such a cinematic game, there is some sort of story behind it. There's two factions at the bottom left, the militia and the IMC. From what I've gathered, the IMC seem to be like government forces or some sort of galactic confederation, maybe. I'm not entirely certain. And the militia are like rebels. I'm not sure who the good guys are, or whether it's just one big grey area.
We lost. Fall back to base.
And we lost there. Ah, there you go. That's an ARG grenade. What it does, distorts your view like crazy, so that it leaves you open to attack and you can't retaliate. And at the moment, I'm just trying to defend the dropship from other Titans. See, I managed to take out a pilot there with my nuclear blast. So I don't manage to get to the dropship in this, unfortunately, because obviously I'm on the other side of the map, and it's all the way over there, and I just don't make it. But strangely enough, I haven't actually played as the IMC faction very much. I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, it's all just different skins and models, but each faction has its own kind of visual feel to it, like the dropships and the player models and stuff. And I've only managed to play IMC once. For some reason, I only appear most of the time I'm playing as militia, which are all good and all that, but I have a bit of a thing for sort of sci-fi totalitarian regimes and stuff. I think they're pretty cool. So like the Combine from Half-Life 2, I think they're really cool. KOOL. So I'd like to play as the IMC more. Although I probably won't get to now. It all depends when the beta ends. So I believe that is everything I have to talk about on Titanfall. So there's still quite a lot of footage left. So if you have any questions about the game that you haven't been able to have answered, ask them in the comments, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Although, if you've been following this game, you've probably looked at nearly every single friggin' Titanfall video on YouTube at the moment, and I'm just adding to that list. But you know, I thought, you know, it's something to do. I was live streaming, as I said. I've had some technical difficulties with that, but yeah, ask whatever questions you have about Titanfall in the comments if you have any. Thank you so much for watching, especially to those on the live stream putting up with my extremely loud voice. And I'll just leave you with the rest of the footage. Bye bye.
ready in 2 minutes.
Got a company man.
Hostile pilot side, copy that.
Thanks for the help,
Hey, your Titan will be ready in 60 seconds. Be advised, Titan ready in 30 seconds. Titan ready in 15 seconds.
Hey,
You got it. Stand by for Titanfall.
Transferring control to pilot. Critical damage. Take evasive action. Warning. Enemy pilot detected on board. Recommend you disembark and remove the threat manually. Warning. High damage sustained. Warning. Core reactor overload. Eject. 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 Eject.
take it down.
Pilot, your Titan will be ready in 2 minutes.
Hey, buddy, we're still in the fight. The IMC have the upper hand right now. We still have time to get ahead, so don't let up.
Hey, your Titan will be ready in 60 seconds. Okay, your Titan's set for launch. Call us when ready. You got it. Stand by for Titanfall.
Control transferring to pilot. Warning. Excessive damage sustained. Caution. You are outnumbered 3 to 1.
Pilot, your Titan will be ready in 2 minutes.
The enemy is slightly ahead of us, and the battle's almost over. If you're planning a comeback, now's the time. of attrition. Target and destroy all enemy forces.
Pilot, your Titan will be ready in 2 minutes. Hey, your Titan will be ready in 60 seconds.
Hostile pilot sighted.
Be advised, Titan ready in 30 seconds.
Pilot immunity guns to take on the
Hey, your Titan's good to go. Call it when ready.
Hey, doing all right, but the IMC is slightly ahead of us. Still got plenty of time to show them who's boss, though.
AI offline. Pilot mode engaged. Warning. Recovery recommended. Critical damage. Seek cover. Damage core online. Damage core activated. Now have increased damage output. Warning. Another Titan is attacking you. Be advised. Damage warning. Recommend regen.
We're in the lead. Keep it up, pilot. That should cool them off. Hey, we're looking good, but the IMC isn't far behind. We have a ways to go, so don't let up. Nice moves. You're unstoppable.
Warning. Reactor unstable. Eject. Eject.
Window clear!
Pilot, your Titan will be ready in 2 minutes. Hey, your Titan will be ready in 60 seconds.
Engaging enemy pilot! Reloading target! not much time left in the mission, but the IMC aren't far behind. Let's stay on top and end this fight.
Titan ready in 15 seconds. The IMC will be heading towards the evac point. Don't let them escape. The enemy dropship is here. Take it out.
All right, boss, this is a battle of attrition. Eliminate all enemy forces.
60 seconds. Be advised, Titan ready in 30 seconds. Titan ready in 15 seconds.
Oh, that should cool him off. Pilots, tracking slightly behind the enemy right now, but it's still early. You've got time to turn this around.
Transferring control to pilot. Critical damage. Take evasive action. Warning, ETM reactor damage sustained.
Take it down.
Pilot, your Titan will be ready in 2 minutes. Hey, your Titan will be ready in 60 seconds. Be advised, Titan ready in 30 seconds. Titan ready in 15 seconds.
Hey, buddy, we're still in the fight. The IMC have the upper hand right now. We still have time to get ahead, so don't let up.
You got it. Stand by for Titanfall.
Control transferring to pilot. Warning, multiple threats attacking. Caution, you are outnumbered 2 to 1. Caution, you are outnumbered 3 to 1. Warning, core reactor overload. Eject.
Pilot, your Titan will be ready in 2 minutes.
Nice move. Now finish the job. Bring it down.
Hey, your Titan will be ready in 60 seconds.
The enemy is slightly ahead of us and the battle's almost over. If you're planning a comeback, now's the time.